Let's talk about this mess. So apparently Kathy Griffin spilled some tea about Andy Cohen because Andy Cohen spilled tea about her first. So what had happened was Andy Cohen went over there at BravoCon and spilled some personal tea about Kathy Griffin, saying that he reached out to her or that they had an email exchange and that sort of thing. And she decided to get on the social media and reveal what happened. I was like, where the hell is the photo? Okay, I found it as I was stalling. Okay, so now earlier this month, Cohen told the crowd at the Bravo fan convention in Las Vegas that he and Griffin had emailed the other day, adding of the possibility of making amends following a years long feud. Saying never say never. Well, that feud started because your thieving ass, your no talent having behind, but because you are Mr. Executive behind the scenes, you was able to pull this little stunt and you stole her New Year's Eve job that she had with your little bestie that you never got to fuck. It's kind of like, you want to know something? Andy Cohen and Anderson Cooper remind me of Brian Kenny and not Justin, because him and Justin fuck, but Brian Kenny and Michael Novotny from Queer as Folk, where it's like, y'all were two gay best friends that tried to do the fornication dance. Y'all tried to do the yum yum bouncy bouncy, but it never happened. And so you still waiting to get, as Justin said in season one, you still waiting to get jerked off. So that's literally what this whole situation with them two are. And that's what Andy and Anderson give me. But Anderson ain't never gonna let you jerk him off. So you just still sitting waiting in the wings, opining for that moment to happen. Now, you went and pulled a highway robbery and you stole her job, and then she was ostracized and was all the mess, and that's when the whole feudation started. So now he want to sit up here and try to act like I want to make bygones be bygones. Child, but child, bye. First of all, this is not the whole Nene getting back in the good graces of Bravo. This feels a lot deeper than what's going on with that, because that's the ultimate betrayal. But I guess some people would call it, that's not ultimate betrayal. It's show business. Welcome to it. So now the comedian, who's 65, was admittedly shocked to receive the email and hear the TV personality mention it publicly. She said, quote, Andy Cohen was my boss at Bravo, and he was, in my opinion, a difficult boss. This is what she said during a stand-up show in Los Angeles on Saturday, according to Just Jared. Quote, I really tried to do a good job at Bravo, and I had a great time there. I kind of helped build the channel, which she actually did with her My Life on the D List, which where her show started from 2005 to 2010. It was that they had Queer Eye. They had a bunch of shows on there at the time. So in a way, and she did help build that channel into what it is. Griffin went on to share that out of the blue last week, she got an email from Andy Cohen for the first time in 8 years. She said the email came through around 10 p.m. and was sort of nice, theorizing that he vetted it with lawyers, knowing she would likely read it on stage. Griffin told the audience that Cohen, who's 57, was civil but didn't really apologize. Well, why would he? That queen never takes responsibility for the shit he does. Instead, he allegedly hit her with something along the lines of sorry, not sorry. And I would have emailed, you could take this email and shove it square up your ass. Now you claim you were top, but you're gonna have to make an exception with this email. Because you're not gonna come at me with no sorry, not sorry shit. The actress then said she wrote him back very quickly and was kind of emotional, though she didn't specify what she replied. Well, Kathy, I need you to not be the bigger person in this situation. Any other time, you'd be so quick to get on the line and spill the tea and tell us your little back and forth crazy encounters with celebrities. This would have been the perfect time for you to tell us what the hell you wrote. Because, like I told you, I already said less than 2 minutes ago what I would have replied back with if you came at me with some goddamn sorry, not sorry. However, she explained to attendees, I thought I don't really need to be in any more beefs. I've been in so many effing beefs with so many people. Not only did Griffin acknowledge that Cohen is a powerful guy, which is why they won't remove him of his rank at Bravo, especially with all the allegations that has come out against him over the years. Excuse me, but she also confessed allegedly, I'll say allegedly, all the other stuff with him. I wish I were back at Bravo. It was a fun place to work, and it was a great place to do specials and all that stuff. But after hearing Cohen bring up their email exchange at BravoCon, Griffin thought to herself, hold on, girl. You emailed me for the first time in 8 years after effing doing me dirty and taking my job, as I said, as co-host of CNN's New Year's Eve special with Anderson Cooper, and fire me from Bravo, but okay. Now, Griffin's career reputation took major hits after she posed for photos, as y'all know, holding a fake decapitated head of President Trump. Now, though Griffin doesn't want to have beef with Cohen, she lamented that his disclosure of their private conversation did hurt, as did her whole experience with him. Because what that feels like, in a way, is that that's gaslighting. It's like, why you hit me up after 8 years? I done put this shit behind me. I done moved on. I'm sitting out here still. Now I'm having a career renaissance after so many things I've been through, losing my mother. I think didn't she have like throat cancer or something or another? There was like something that was going with her where she lost her voice over the years and took her years to get her voice back. And then there's been so many things that she's been dealing with. I think she also said that she had a drug downward spiral, and she was always somebody who was like, I never drank, I never did drugs, and everything stuff. And then there was like a thing that where she went hardcore into like this downward spiral. And so now she's finally got her life back on track. Here this queen come because there's no more housewives you could torment. So you had to go and sit now. Oh, I just woke up one morning. I just decided I'm going to send an email to Kathy Griffin about what, why, like for why? Why are you sending me some shit? Like I don't like you. You over there, you stole my job. You doing what you doing. I'm over here building my stuff. I don't want to be kikiing with you. Just like shout out to all of y'all that are still dropping comments in my video that I did with Andy Cohen consistently every time somebody talk and ask him. He keeps bringing up why Madonna will not go on Watch What Happens Live. Everybody was in the comments like, we don't want him going on that girl. We don't want her going on his show. He messy. That was what everybody said. Hence why I intentionally put in quotes "messy queen" in this headline in the lower third. So a lot of people don't want Andy Cohen and Madonna to go on his show. And you want to know something? In so many ways, I'm glad because she did drop some new photos today talking about she's in the stew with Stu. In the studio with Stewart, in case people didn't understand what Stu with Stu meant. So she has been giving us little updates here and there on the new album. And I do agree that, yeah, as even though I would definitely want to watch the show and I'm here for the mess, I don't want her to give this queen the satisfaction of exploiting her for his own ratings gain, because that's what Andy Cohen gives. You don't get to be successful where you are without having to step over a bunch of people and being messy. You don't get there by having integrity. I mean, there's very few people out here who can get there. Takes a long time, but if you want to get there a little faster, you got to step on a couple of people's necks to get to where they are. And trust to believe, Andy Cohen, socksless, shoe wearing ass, has stepped on many a heads to get where he is today. And there's no shade. I'm just saying, do you niece, but just be honest about how you get to where you get. Now, she did. They said she seemingly didn't close the door on a possible reconciliation with the network exec, as she teased, I don't know what's going to happen. In fact, asked point blank whether she would make up with Cohen, she said, let's go with maybe. So, Page Six reported this. Cohen's reps didn't respond to their request for comment, but he could comment about it at BravoCon. But okay, because I guess there he felt he can control the narrative. So to me being the bigger person, it's like, you know what? If there was an opportunity for me to sit in the room with somebody who did me dirty, I would, you know what? With age and time, it heals all wounds. I might sit in the room, with me, I said all the messy, shady shit I said, and I'm probably going to have to say that to you when I see you, just so that way I can exercise these demons and get it up out of me. Now, once I done cussed your ass out and I moved on, because that's how I do. I cuss you out and I move on. I was like, I said what I said, and now we can dab it up and keep it moving. Now, after all of that, it was like, okay, now I can forgive you. And then we can come into a much cordial place, which is, if I see you out in the street, hey, how you doing? And I keep it moving. Now, as far as me like wanting to break bread with you and we want to hang out in a private booth together and we sit there drinking and kikiing and catching both, oh no, we ain't doing that. Because I'm a Virgo. We do hold grudges. I was trying to be all diplomat, act like we don't. We do. I will hold a grudge. And so it's like, I will forgive, but I won't forget. And I can't, after you done burned me and did me dirty, where you cost me millions of dollars and still on a job that I had. Oh no, I can't forgive that. I mean, I can forgive it, but I can't forget it. And so I would have to move on from that. Like we can be, like I said, we can be cordial. I can say, "Hey, how you doing?" and keep it moving. But as far as us trying to be like things going back to the way, no, I can't trust you because now in the back of my mind, I'm looking at you like, what you up to? Like I can't trust you after that. So I definitely want to hear from you in regards to this story. What do you think of this story regarding Andy Cohen spilling personal email tea about Kathy Griffin and revealing it in public, and now Kathy Griffin speaking out? Could you be that bigger person? Like I said, I was. Like I said, I could cuss you out, and then after that, we could dab it up and keep it moving. But could I forgive you and we could be best friends? No, because I feel like you sneaky and you might try to do something else, and you trying to all of a sudden get up in my business again. Like, what you up to? Why do you want to know? Like, I would be one of those people that's just like questioning everything. Like, the trust is pretty much broken at that point. So, I definitely want to hear from y'all. Let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.